Hello, sisters. Welcome to day 10 of 21. As we've been doing the laws, the 12 laws of transformation by Baron Baptiste, I hope you have been doing the journaling. I hope you have been following. Before I go into today's law, let me run through the 5 laws that we've done so far, because today we're doing law 6. So law 1 is seek the truth. Seek the truth. Law 2, just 1 second. Law 2, be willing to come apart. Law 3, step out of your comfort zone. Law 4, commit to growth. Law 5, shift your vision. And today we're doing law 6, and law 6 says, drop what you know. Drop what you know. Relinquishing control is the ultimate challenge of a spiritual warrior. Baron Baptiste. You see, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So a lot of times, when we come into, there's something I said, I think during Seek the Truth or so, when I was explaining that we are born into this world complete. Usually when you're trying to get back to your true self, it's not about adding on things, it's about taking out the things that were not meant to be there in the first place, so that you can get to the essence of who you are. Shedding off layers, all those excess baggage, all those things that don't need to be there. That's what it is, right? So also we go to school, interact with people, we spend a lot of our lives trying to build stuff, gather information, build our knowledge base so that we can look smart, so that we can be seen as sharp, so that we can be seen as knowledgeable. The problem with this, acquiring knowledge is a good thing, but the problem is that many times we take all these things in and it becomes like we're living on autopilot. So there is no connection between your head and your mind. Everything is just taking up headspace. You are regurgitating memory, things that you have crammed, so there's no space for intuition. I was speaking to someone earlier today and I was saying that everybody's journey is personal. So your journey with God, your relationship with God, your journey, everybody's journey is personal. But sometimes God might be trying to tell you something, but because your monkey brain is analyzing it and you're thinking, no, this doesn't make sense. This is not what you are taught. This is not what we learned in church. This is not what we learned in the mosque, right? And then we struggle with it. We don't get to do it. But who is the ultimate? Who is the creator of all of those things? God. So sometimes we get carried away with this knowledge that we disconnect with our true intuition. We disconnect with the different ways that God is trying to talk to us and tell us things to do. They always say, walk by faith and not by sight. We say this a lot and it has become cliche, but literally that's what it is. Forget about what you see. So you might look around you now, everything is looking like, oh, things are falling apart, blah, blah, blah. But deep down inside, something good is coming out of it, but you will not see it unless you can walk by faith and not by sight. Remember when the Israelites were about to take on, was it the Midianites or so, and go into a battle anyway. So they sent Joshua and Caleb and some other people to go and check and say, okay, see, are we able to take up this land? The majority of people the majority of the spies who went came back and said, no, these people are as many as the sand of the sea. We have no chance against them, blah, blah, blah. But Joshua and Caleb came with faith and not based on the numbers that they saw, and said, we are able to take up this nation and we can do it. So that's what it is. When you can see what others are not seeing, when you can see with faith and not with your eyes, when you can see, take action, not based on the knowledge that you have acquired, but based on your intuition, based on that inner voice, based on that thing that has been deposited on you, in you before you came into the world. Okay? So sometimes we have to be able to trust ourselves. We have to be able to trust the process. Many things we are just repeating what you've read in books, what you've learned in church, what your parents have said. Now it's time to drop all of those things and embrace your inner self, embrace the knowledge that you have, embrace the gifts that you have, and don't bother about, because many times many of us are bothered about, oh, I might look stupid, oh, I might sound, even those voices are always in our head. You're trying to do something and you say, you're looking stupid, what's this rubbish you're doing? No, 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 no. All those voices, because you don't trust yourself. But believe you me, many of the answers, many of the solutions to the problems you have, they are inside of you. You know deep down, but you're ignoring it because it doesn't align with all the things that you have learned over the years. It doesn't align with all the things that people have told you or what your parents have told you over the years. It's time to let all of that go. Drop what you know. It is when you drop what you know and you are bold enough to say, I don't know, that you begin to know. All right? If I'll just read this. If I don't arm myself with an arsenal of knowledge, I will be inadequate, boring, and unprepared. And I won't grow. But the thing is, if we now become dependent on outside knowledge, we now begin to depend on things outside of us. Meanwhile, the answer lies within us. It lies within us. And this whole process is not intellectual, it is spiritual. Faith is required if we are to let go of our all-knowing minds and dive into the realm of not knowing. It is very empowering and very, very empowering to be able to boldly say, I don't know. So we don't know what tomorrow holds. So you don't know, you don't know what answers to give. So you don't know, it's fine. You don't know because it has never happened before. I mean, that's how people created inventions back in the day. Many of the things they created did not exist before they created them. So there might be something inside of you that hasn't existed before, something that hasn't been done before, something that you have no reference, no manual for. Go ahead and do it. If that is what your intuition is telling you, if that is what God is telling you to do, go ahead and do it. And the only way you can do it is if you drop all you know. See you tomorrow.